I like the choice of water for today, Matthew.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Acadia spring water.
You're done burping on the podcast?
Yeah, no more. I got yelled at.
By who?
Management. Yeah, the producers said I can't have water no more. I mean, they said I can't have any more carbonated beverages, specifically Dr. Pepper.
They did say no more carbonated beverages.
Yeah, they pulled me aside after the episode. They said,
what'd they say? You're talking in a whisper right now, Matthew. We're a podcast. I hate to break it to you. You can't really the audio.
Just
part
put
is
subtitles
super
over
important. Oh, okay, for the audio listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They'll hear it.
You're listening
it
to 101 The Goob. Whatever. It came through. Is that what you said?
Quit fretting.
Quit fretting. That's a great point.
You're always so concerned.
That's me. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning if you're listening in the morning. Good evening if you're listening in the evening. Any other time, I don't care about it.
It's also okay for listening at noon and midnight.
It is episode 12, or otherwise known as the 3-month mark for the GOOB podcast.
Dang, we just got past our first trimester. Great point, Matthew.
I was curious if you had like a favorite moment from the show, or like any of the TikToks we posted or anything like that. That was not planned at all. I was just thinking about it. It's been 3 months. Do you have like a favorite moment so far?
I'm still a big fan of the outstanding on the mound.
That's a classic, man.
I'm a big fan of that one. It's just, it came to mind and I said it. And it just clicked.
That's awesome. I think.
What about you?
I think my favorite is, it might be a little bit of recency bias, but the Boo Mets. I mean, that totally caught me out of left field, man. You totally caught me off guard. That was hilarious. And if you haven't seen the short, if you haven't seen the episode from last week, or was that 2 weeks ago?
I think it was last week.
Go watch the episode from last week. Listen to the episode from last week. Matthew had a really awesome moment in there. Totally caught me off guard. Yeah. Congrats on 3 months, man. It's been some real work out here. We've been having a good time though.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Congratulations to you as well. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's all right. Trust me. I congratulate myself every day for all the work that we do.
This podcast won't be where it's at without Papa.
And then we're talking about Tony, Papa. How
Tony's
you doing
Papa,
so far?
we're Mamas. Okay. Sorry.
Tony's Dada.
You just want to run that back, say, how you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I watched Friendship this past weekend.
Okay. I know I
Killer
talked about
movie.
it last episode, but how did you feel about it?
I liked it a lot. It was just absolutely loved Tim Robinson, and it exceeded all my expectations. Other than that, yeah. I mean, just with it being episode 12, like, just been thinking a lot recently about the podcast, just the GOOB in general, and I'm just really excited. I've been just daydreaming about it and just thinking about where the places will go.
Me too. Recently, I've been driving around for work, and I've just been like, man, so many cool things we could do with as things progress here, and that all goes out to you loyal listeners and lovely folk listening.
On baseball.
If you haven't already, tell a friend. Tell one friend. We won't do any of the bot jokes. No one has to make 25 bots or anything like that.
I won't even say that.
Tell one friend. Matthew, tell him to tell one friend.
Hey guys, just tell a friend. Just at least one friend.
One friend. They don't even have to listen. It'd be cool if they listened, but if you tell them about it, that'd go a long way for us.
Tell them about the Boo Met short.
Send it to them.
Yeah, send it to them.
Why not? Helps with the algorithm.
Don't make bots.
Don't make bots. Don't do that unless you want to. Anything else you've been up to besides catching that movie, Matthew?
Pretty much just packing. As you can see, pretty bare bones right now. By next episode, I'll be in a new location, so I'm really excited to kind of set up a new spot, be in the new place, and yeah, I'm excited to just like decorate the place, which sounds like really silly, but
Not at all.
I'm just excited just to set it up and do a bunch of stuff and put all my collections out, just show up everything I got.
Get some nice shelves for your figures and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It'll be sick.
Man.
I'm really excited for that. Granted, that's if the boss lets me. However, we gotta do what we gotta do for the Goob.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You gotta have a cool backdrop, man. You gotta
Exactly.
Have my jerseys should be hanging up. My next place, there's gonna be I'm gonna make sure I have a cool backdrop at the next place I move to, and it's fun. It's super fun getting to decorate that type of stuff. And,
and it's like, even just like when me and Nicole we were like picking out a bunch of stuff for like the bathroom, and it's just like finding colorways, like just like making everything match. It was really fun. Just like as simple, like it's nothing like showing off like collections and stuff, but it's like just as simple as just, hey, let's make everything the same color. It was really cool.
I got really excited about the shower curtain that we found at from my last place. And I think that like is the signs of getting old a little bit, I guess, but it reminded me of the album cover for 65th and Ingleside by Chance the Rapper, and just like the color scheme and the way the colors broke into each other and stuff. It's very reminiscent of that for me for whatever reason, and that was like a very exciting moment. I was like, hey, you like the color of this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like,
Exactly.
Have you got any thought about getting any like paintings or anything like that, or some prints and stuff like that?
I do think it would be cool to have just like a few like album like covers up, stuff like that. I do have a few just like things that I think would just be cool to have on the wall.
Yeah, Keyblade.
Keyblade, obviously.
Keyblade's gotta be there.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. I have a few ideas, and then also like, I think it'd be cool to have like a joint wall of like me and Nicole's stuff.
That'd be super cool.
And it's just like kind of like a gradient. I think it would be kind of neat. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. But yeah, by the next episode, you'll see me with a new place.
That's gonna be really exciting, dude. We're all super excited for you. Me and all of our lovely listeners.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. I had a pretty full week actually. I took Judy on her first walk. We got maybe 15 to 20 steps out from the house.
That's not bad.
But we made some forward progress. We're gonna try again tomorrow. I think we're gonna maybe hope for less wind. It was really windy when we went out, and I think that was spooking her a little bit more than already was happening. But she's a brave little gal. She's also the cutest thing ever, and it was super fun. I really am excited. I really hope she likes it more, and that starts to be a regular thing. What else did I do this week? I got really into this Instagram and Twitter page called the Hall of Pretty Good. Have you heard of this, Matthew?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is lovely. I'm gonna start listening to their podcast, I believe. Just amazing stuff going on over there. The definition of just like niche baseball content that is like good for everybody. I think anybody could enjoy it. It's comical, but it's still like to the point, and like they use logic and reasoning. I love that type of stuff, opening up fun conversations around players that are kind of like, oh yeah, like they played baseball. I forgot about that.
I've been seeing a lot of their stuff, like especially in the comment sections of the retirement posts of people, and they're just like, "We'll be seeing you soon."
I went to maybe the grossest night of baseball I've ever been to in my entire life, but we toughed it out. I went to the High Hopes night at the Reading Phillies. High Hopes is a baseball podcast I listen to. Obviously, I've talked about that before. Yeah, it was they're cheering on Aidan Miller. Aidan Miller on like the first pitch of his night, he laced a double into right field. Things are really starting to slow down for him at Double A. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him getting called up to Triple A sometime. Within the next year, I don't know if it's going to happen this season, but within the next 365 days, I think we may see him up at Lehigh Valley, which is going to be super exciting. And,
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, I think one thing that I've noticed, this is now the third game that I've seen of him in person. Second one where he's playing short. Most of the other time he was DHing that day. The defense is pretty good. That was the one concern with Aidan Miller a little bit, where it's like, is he going to be able to stay at short? It's gotten better for sure. He looks comfortable out there. I can say that he looks like he belongs there. Whether he doesn't have the most range ever is true. I didn't see it necessarily in the games that I've been to, but he does not have the most speed or anything like that. But balls hit to him, he fields them well, plays cleanly. I'm all about it. And previously, I had worked on a comp of Aidan Miller kind of looks like Sabrina Carpenter, like a distant relative. He does still. It's Chalamet. He looks like Timothy Chalamet. He looks just like Timothy Chalamet, and I can't get it out of my head now.
No, that's fair. That's who I see when I see Aidan Miller.
Okay, bring him up. Bring him up.
He looks just like Bob Dylan.
I like it. And then last thing I've been doing. Sorry, I'm talking a lot about what I've been doing.
No, it's okay. I talked a lot about what I've been doing too.
You'll talk more. I've been grinding MLB The Show recently, preparing us for our weekly streams happening tonight. If you are listening to this on the release date, Thursday night around 9 p.m. we're looking to go live. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on TikTok. Both of those at the same time, because we figured out how to do that, which is pretty exciting. So buckle up. We're going to the moon. Goob to the moon, guys.
Goob to Mars.
Goob to Mars. That'll be me and Matt playing MLB The Show. If it's any other games, Matthew may be in on that. We'll see how that goes. There are some other baseball games that me and Matt have been eyeing up that I need to run by you, Matthew. There's this one indoor baseball game that looks pretty fun. It's like kids playing, and you're like it.
That's sick.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So if you're free tonight, Thursday night, pop in the stream, say what's up. If you're not free tonight, find a way to open it up and leave it somewhere. Help the boys out. Come on, Goobers are begging you. We're begging you, please.
Please make a bot account, please.
And then that brings us to some sad news. What do you think it is, Matthew?
I'm really sad.
That you're really sad? Besides Matthew being really sad, no one called in to the GOOB hotline to answer his question. He put a lot of effort into that question.
Yeah, I thought about it right there on the spot.
And nobody called in. Look at him.
Honestly, like, you don't even have to call. Like, you could text in if you want.
Yeah.
If you're scared of calling on the phone, I understand. You're scared Bailey's going to pick up? I understand. I get it, man. At least text in. Like, come on, guys.
That's to 717-803-7302. Please give us a call. Should we do like a
Let's not even run the graphic.
I'm going to run the graphic. You worked hard on it. It's a cool graphic.
Okay. I appreciate that.
No problem. I was curious, do you think we should do like those like Sarah McLachlan ECA commercials?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like,
in the
yeah. Don't sing that. No. Stop. YouTube, dude. Come on. You gotta be careful. Be careful, man. Close one.
Yeah, I almost got killed.
You almost got us killed.
Who's the owner of YouTube? Google?
Google.
Who's the owner of Google? Alphabet? Who's the owner of Alphabet?
Jeff Bezos.
Probably. Jeff Bezos almost killed us.
Title of the episode: Jeff Bezos almost killed us. For audio listeners, we made thumbnail faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Call into the Goop hotline. Oh no, I was going with that bit. Not that bit. That thing. You know the Sarah McLachlan that's such a long name. PSECA commercials. We should do one of those, like really sad commercials, but for people
But it's
to
just
call
me
in,
with my gut out.
and for people to call into the Goop hotline, where it's like,
Yeah.
it's like videos of us crying and sad, and it's like, for just 13 seconds of your time, you can make these guys' days.
You can make our days. Be like Schwarber.
Be like Schwarber. Make our day.
Be like Mr. Fanatic. Make our days. Make these kids years.
You gotta be in on the podcast lore to get this one, gang. I'm sorry if you're new. Make our day. Make our day, Kyle Schwarber.
Come on.
717-803-7302. Give us a call. Shoot us a text. Anything for us to react to on the podcast. We would be greatly, greatly appreciative of it. I'm going to double check here just to make sure I'm not missing something.
717-207-8627.
Almost.
It was kind of close.
Yeah, it was close. I support you. Before we get into our game recaps, I have a few Phillies headlines from the week. I was curious if you had anything you wanted to get into before we got into anything like that.
No, let's get into it.
Okay, awesome. Mick Abel's getting brought up on Wednesday. Those of you listening are already fully aware of this. Matthew, your initial thoughts. Rip them off right away.
I'm excited. I'm excited to have that, like, I mean, granted, he's only had one start, but it was really good.
Against the Pirates.
Against the Pirates. So it's like, if he could do that and replicate that with other teams, it's really exciting. And I've liked Taiwan being in the bullpen.
Me too.
Especially for when, I mean, every starting pitcher on our team has had it. Like, it just happens where you have an off day, and
it happens.
Yeah, and you just blow up. So to have someone there to eat innings, I think is really important. And Taiwan has proven that
real quick
he can do that.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. The Taiwan note was my second piece here. So I'm gonna go right into this. He's not getting transitioned to someone who's going to be eating innings. He is getting transitioned to a high leverage 1 inning reliever. So tight situation. Taiwan Walker's the one coming out of the bullpen.
I don't like that.
I felt a similar way when that was again, we'll see what actually happens when when it actually comes to practice. I have a hard time believing that they're not going to try and stretch Taiwan every once in a while. Yeah, I just, I find it a little interesting. And when it comes to Mick, specifically, I'm very excited to see what he can do against a Toronto lineup tomorrow, Wednesday. Because like I said, I think I'm trying not to be too, like, the Pirates are a joke organization with a pretty terrible, like, lineup. I don't think, all right. So I don't think that the Pirates lineup are similar to AAA talent in the sense that,
lay it on us. Tell us how you feel.
The Pirates lineup's really bad. It's close to AAA level bad. A bunch of quad A players are there. Toronto is close to a good. They're close to a very good offense. They're a good offense. They're an okay offense. I think this is going to be a big indicator for where he actually can produce at. And I think the most important thing I want to see out of him is I want to see him keeping pitch counts low, in total pitches in his at bats low. I don't want him overly relying on his curveball like he did against the Pirates, because that's not gonna fly against a team like the Blue Jays and like some of the other teams that he's scheduled to make starts against. against until Aaron Nola gets back. So those are two of my big concerns, and my biggest hope is that he keeps his ERA low and we can move him for a bullpen piece once Aaron Nola is back up and healthy. I think I've seen a lot of speculation about Abel getting traded. I guess this would be a little bit of your first experience of getting to see someone come up and get moved so quickly. What would be your thoughts on us moving Abel? Do you have any sort of attachment to Abel? Do you have any sort of hope for Abel staying with the Phillies?
I mean, just sports in general, I'm always a huge fan of people coming up through the system.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Trent Alexander-Arnold on Liverpool, like he's a Liverpool lad, and he's been with them for 20 years. So it's like that's why it stings so much for that he's being traded. So it's like for people to come through the system, like I do think it is important to kind of give them a chance and give them. Granted, baseball's different than soccer, but
not to sound like a total noob here. What position did the guy you're mentioning play?
Right back.
Right back. So in this situation, he's coming up through the system here, through their youth programs, everything like that. And when he is ready to play, they have 4 right backs already pro ready and at the top of their game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm saying 4 is because, I mean, how many right backs could you bump to a different position and then so my thought process here is I agree with what you're saying, and I agree that it's nice to keep guys that come up through the system, but we have Zach Wheeler, we have Jesus Luzardo, we have Chris Sanchez, you could do what you want with Aaron Nola, and we have Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler wants to pitch on a 5-day rotation, and we have Andrew Painter coming up. We have a surplus.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's my pushback on your take there.
Yeah, I would like to, because I mean we are also in need of a bullpen.
Exactly.
So it's like I would be interested to see whether it would be. I would hope that his trade would be for someone that would be useful for the team, one, or we can see where he's useful in the team without trading him. So it's like, because
I don't think he would get bumped to the bullpen. I don't think that's something we're looking to do unless we're 100% sure we're not trading him. Trade value drops off a ton when you're not talking about a relieving. I mean, when you're not talking about a starting prospect, you're talking about a reliever prospect. It's just less interesting to trade offers. And the other thing I'm seeing in that case is Ranger either getting bumped to the bullpen or traded due to it being his last season on his contract. I personally am not a fan of the idea of trading Ranger for multiple reasons. One, he's been proven to be one of our best playoff performers. Not that I don't have any faith in Zach, Chris, Jesus, and Aaron. It's going to be tough for Ranger to find a spot in. I think he has one still. I'm not saying that. But I don't think we would totally feel it if we were to lose him. I just think that you don't typically trade starting level caliber to teams that are looking to move a bat or a bullpen piece. If we're talking about a big name like a Felix Bautista from that's just the name I've seen floated around today a bit. I'm repeating a little bit of what I've heard already. I apologize. But Felix Bautista is an interesting name in Baltimore. He's got 2 years of control left this year and next. So giving up a bigger name like that might make some sense, but also the Orioles aren't in the market for trading for a player that's on the last year of his contract right now. So there's a whole lot to it, unfortunately. But yeah, I think with 2 good starts under his belt after this one, if we can send Abel off somewhere, I think we do it. I think if his value is
that makes sense.
Remotely high, maybe the Cardinals are dipping down and we send Abel and I don't want to say Crawford, maybe Crawford, that level of prospect, Abel and him for Helsley out of that bullpen. There are some great names out there. It's a little limited, and the people bidding for these bullpen pieces are going to be. It's going to be a high price. I think by the time the deadline rolls around, if the Phillies are buying, I think the trade they make for a bullpen piece is going to be like, whoa, they gave up way too much, just because that's going to be the market right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball can be brutal. I try not to fall in love with prospects, but here I am fawning over Aidan Miller and Justin Crawford and all of them, and Andrew Painter for years now. That was a long rant. I apologize, but I am going to get into the next thing that you already mentioned. Bottom of the 8th inning. We're away. We're pitching. We're up 1 run right now, right? 3-2. Bottom of the 8th. Taijuan Walker starts running in from center field. How you feeling? You feeling confident? You feeling scared? Do you want to give it some time in the bullpen, see how he does?
I think I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want him to go out there and lights out. I want him to get 3 strikeouts. I want him
to
destroying
do those
them.
Things. I want him to do those things as well. That wasn't my question.
However, you just never know.
Yeah.
He's doing well one day, and the next day it's so wishy-washy, and it's hard to put that faith in him because you just never know. My heart's gonna sink a little. I'm not gonna lie. But also, I mean, who knows? Maybe he proves himself that he's killer, and he's gonna come out and he's gonna hit him with a 1-2 punch in a high leverage situation.
I like the idea of him coming into the game with runners on base exclusively because how nasty his pickoff move is. I think that could be fun. Like, imagine he comes in for like the rest of an inning with like 2 outs and he gets the last out without throwing a pitch. Like, that sounds like some cool stuff. Like, how many innings?
What if his pickout rate is like higher than his strikeout rate?
Now we're talking.
Now that's a cool stat.
I don't think it is, but that would be pretty insane. And then one last move here. Seth Johnson got called up to major leagues. Did you see that?
Who the hell is that? Sorry.
So we traded for Seth Johnson and Moises Chasse from the Baltimore Orioles last season at the deadline when we gave them Gregory Soto. So we sent Sir Anthony for Austin Hayes. Try and wipe that from our memory. How's Sir Anthony doing? I haven't seen anything about him this season. Is he healthy?
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Sorry, gang. Real quick Sir Anthony watch. We'll pop up a graphic or something. 5.06 ERA. Negative -0.1 WAR. 1.406 WHIP. Oh, Taijuan, what are you doing? I mean, not Taijuan. Sir Anthony, what are you doing, buddy?
Hope you're well, man.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well. If you ever want to come back, you can. Maybe. If you start pitching better again. Where was I? Oh yeah, Seth Johnson. We sent Gregory Soto down to Baltimore for Seth Johnson and Moises Chasse. Moises Chasse just got shut down for Tommy John surgery, unfortunately. He was a very exciting starting prospect in Double-A. But Seth Johnson, we saw him briefly last season. He came up for 1 start and he got hit around a bit. But now he's in the bullpen. We moved him to the bullpen, I think, permanently. And we're going to see how that plays out. He can hit about 99 with the fastball, which is exciting. Some velocity out of the pen is always good.
Did you say that he's also in Double-A?
No, he got brought up to the majors.
Nice.
He's going to be playing for the Phillies.
Nice.
Probably today, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
We'll see how that actually goes. So we'll see Seth Johnson. Hopefully that's as fun or more fun than last time. I'll say that much. Did you have anything you wanted to get into before we went into a bit of the recaps?
No, let's hop right into it. I'll go ahead and start with the Phillies Braves series. This one was interesting.
It was.
We ended up winning the series, so that's big. We started off with a 2-0 win, and then the next one got rained out, so then that brought us to a doubleheader, and we split it. So we won the one and then lost the other. But Ranger, my baby boy, he did amazing, and I love him. 6 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts.
Nice.
Very, very cool to see that from him. It's just really cool just to see him, especially after a tough ending to last season.
Yeah.
Just kind of seeing him come back in and just really pick up his stuff. And I mean, I say it a million times. I love the guy. He's very nonchalant and just doing his thing, and he always has a cool head. So seeing him do that. Part of that too is like he kind of had to,
Exactly.
because Harper got hit in his right elbow from Spencer Strider.
When are people gonna stop throwing in on the guy? I mean, how many times has this happened now? Is this the 4th time where he's missed time due to getting thrown in on? And it's just like have some respect for the game a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Like, I understand that he's a terrifying hitter. He scares the absolute crap out of pitchers, and he should. He's so good.
Yeah.
But throwing in and up at his face after he talks about like the trauma that he's had after getting hit in the face, it's just like, like come on.
And it's like that's his bad elbow,
but
like that's his bad side, and it's like, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Like, and especially just the fact that it's the Braves, and then just how the Braves have been playing in that series, like
sliding at Stott.
Turner got hit. Was it Marchand who got hit? There's a bunch of players who got hit.
Didn't actually get hit, but we scored the run and won the game, so we don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it did not hit him. The ball did not hit him, unfortunately.
But regardless, like, it's the Braves. We don't like them. They play dirty.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do you think that we should have retaliated?
I think I hit a point where I thought we should have in the moment, but I'm glad that we did not in retrospect. I'm a very emotional watcher of these Philadelphia Phillies, and sometimes I'm like, oh, we got to kill that guy. But but no, I'm glad. I think the Phillies look good. I think the Phillies came out looking better for not hitting a Phillies player, for not hitting a Braves player than the Braves did. I like having this moral high ground to stand on. Braves are bad people. They're all terrible. Yeah, they're awful people. Can we call them terrorists?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll bleep that. I'm not going to bleep that, but I was just asking if we can. I'm not going to bleep it because then it's going to sound bad. If I say, can we call them beep?
Can't do that.
Nope, not going to do that.
Also, they should probably change their name.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And their logo and like their whole tomahawk chop thing.
Everything about them, and move away. Yeah. And they should just disband the franchise, I think.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't really talk about this, but Orlando Arcia got DFA'd.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Attaboy. Keep a job next time. Sorry.
Arcia more like, go to Rockies. Go to Rockies. Have fun. Bye. But yeah, so that was just a really scary moment. And of course it was as soon as I turned my TV on.
Yeah, I think we were talking or something like that, and we turned it on and we were like, oh my gosh, Bryce just got hit.
And then after that, I was just like, it's my fault.
Yeah.
I turned the TV on, and Spencer Strider, it was like a sleeper agent.
How? So just talking about, I mean, talking about the Bryce hitting hit, and then I guess also the subsequent 2 series that faced. How empty does this lineup feel without Bryce Harper in it? Very. I feel like I'm watching a team that just like doesn't have an anchor. Like,
oh yeah,
there is no focal point of the offense, and you'd hope that the other $300 million man would step up during that time period. And I'm not saying he played poorly, but also like it doesn't feel like we have another $300 million player on the team. I can tell you that much. Yeah. The closest is Kyle Schwarber, and he's getting paid $20 million a year. Like,
exactly. That's kind of something that I made a note of, is just like seeing how, I mean, granted, there's other things that could play effect, but also just seeing how the injury has seemingly affected the lineup. Like, there's correlation there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's rough because it shouldn't be that way. And it's scary in our $1 billion franchise to see that happen because that's one player. You know what I mean? And it's like, it shouldn't be that way. And I miss Bryce Harper.
That is the gravity of Bryce Harper. And this is like, so I don't mean to insult your time watching or anything like that ever in what I'm saying. I'm just curious, when do you consider that you started watching? Because like when my mental image is you started watching it like playoffs of 22, started getting into it 23, and then last season was like you were like 100% last season and this season. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
I would say like 23, mid 23 is when I really locked in. Yeah.
Okay, and that's totally valid, and I genuinely did. I just wanted to get like an idea. So you don't remember the UCL injury for Bryce Harper?
No, I think I remember mostly just like him recovering from it.
Okay, yeah, so you saw him DHing and everything like that. When I say that Bryce Harper changed my life, man, like the purpose that it gave this baseball team, like the difference between the 2018 Philadelphia Phillies and the 2019 Philadelphia Phillies, worlds apart. And watching these games without Bryce Harper felt like I was watching 2017 baseball again. It felt like a bunch of nobodies out there. And it's not. It's the team that I love. It's a team that's very good. But when they lose the spark plug that is Bryce Harper, apparently, who I think people were criticizing earlier this season for not being a great leader and not setting a good example, I think it's pretty evident how great of a leader Bryce Harper is with how poorly they've played over the past week without him. He is something special. He is the definition of being a Philadelphia Philly. It's crazy to me that he was a Nat. It's absolutely insane to me that he was a Nat, because that's not even in my brain at all anymore. That man is a Philadelphia Philly, and if every Philly could be what Bryce Harper is, obviously not as a player, but as just like the person and the amalgamation of Bryce Harper, it's everything, man. And this team without him, they feel it. They feel it every single moment, and I feel it, man. It makes me upset. It stinks when he's hurt. It's a disservice to everybody watching baseball.
Exactly, and he's got to be playing. That's my takeaway from this. It's just, please wear an arm guard. Not that it was his fault that he got hit, but it's like it is also like, take the precautions of protecting yourself. Because we can't take it, man. We can't take it. It's scary. That type of stuff scares me, because when you got a hurl of leather coming at you at 100 miles per hour, like that's gonna mess you up, especially if it's something that's already been injured. So, I'm glad he's back today.
Me too. I hope he's not rushing back. And gonna mess up his swing or anything like that. For sure. Expect a rough week or two from Bryce. He's all about timing. I know all baseball players are, but he's really, really particular with that. It'll be rough for a little bit here, but I expect him to pick it back up very soon, or he'll just come out hitting homers, because every once in a while that's what he does when he comes back.
Exactly. We love to see it.
We do love to see it.
Another player that had a really good game, it was the following one, is Marchand.
Yes.
He thrived in that second game. Yeah. He had a 2-run homer and then a hit by pitch that drove in a run.
When he gunned down Ozzie Albies, I was listening in my car, and I could tell how cool it was. I watched the recap, and I was like, "What? Like, come on,
insane!" And he got
real quick. I'm so sorry. Romano was pitching. Romano is so slow to the mound. Like that throw out on Ozzie Albies, who's an extremely talented base runner. That was understated how impressive that was. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there, though.
No, that's a very good point. And the fact that he got 2 runners out as well. Like it wasn't just Albies. I forget who the other one was, but
I got nothing either, unfortunately.
But like,
you know what you mean.
Yeah, and this is the type of game that you like to see from a backup catcher.
Exactly, especially when it's cool struggling.
Especially one that's been struggling. But yeah, I just want to get your thoughts on Marchand. Like, is he worth keeping around? Like, is he worth it? Like, do you like him in the lineup as a backup for JT?
Yeah, I'd like to see him get more playing time, to be completely honest. I think JT leads the league in grounding out into a double play.
Yep.
He gets up to bat with runners on pretty often at the spot in the lineup he's batting. And when he's not batting, we bump other players up there. Which also isn't a great thing because Alec Boehm in the lineup has been absolutely terrible. So I guess it's kind of a catch-22.
Alec Boehm leadoff.
No, no. Let's keep him nice and low. My thoughts on Marshawn is he's a really awesome baseball player. He's super fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna bring JT back. I don't think it's a great idea. I think it's a fine idea, and you kind of deal with what you've got. There's not another really great catching prospect coming up until Tayit, which is a few years out still.
How long do you think his contract will be?
This is the last year of JT's contract.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when we bring it back?
2 years.
If 2 years?
I think 2 years.
That's fair.
I think I'd be happy with a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I think he's pushing for 3, and I think they'll meet at 2, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if they don't re-sign Kyle Schwarber and they do bring back JT Realmuto, I'm going to be livid. So I think
That's
you figure
fair.
out the Kyle Schwarber situation first, and then you go from there.
Yeah.
Because I like JT. He was a lot of fun early in his Phillies career, and he's still very good defensively, and he calls a great game. Our pitching staff absolutely loves him, and there's intangibles that I can't acknowledge in that sense, but Marshawn seems to be figuring out how to call a game just as well. I like his pop time more. I like the switch hitting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he should be an everyday catcher, at least not yet. What are your thoughts on Marshawn?
Let's platoon him.
Let's platoon him. So you think righty pitchers, Marshawn days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I could get behind that. I was being serious. I could totally get behind that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, catching is a hard one to platoon, I guess. Typically, you
Yeah.
need like a third catcher if you want to do like a true platoon.
Mhm.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. Especially seeing games like that. Seeing the switch hitting really come into play is really, really cool.
It's awesome.
Because I think at the end of the day, that's what brought him above Stubbs, is like his ability to hit.
I think hitting. I think the defense is better with
Mhm.
Marshawn. I think Stubbs calls a better game for sure,
Mhm.
and I also think age has a lot to do with it. Marshawn is 26
That's
years
fair.
old. He hasn't really gotten a full shot since 2020. Yeah, that just my quick thoughts there.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I like the guy, and again, like kind of like you were saying, I just hope he gets more playing time. That way we can see him have more games like this, hopefully.
Exactly.
And I mean, there's no way we'll see it if he doesn't have the playing time. But
kind
yeah,
of like stop versus lefties. I think we've seen it now enough, but
Mhm.
for a while there, that was kind of the conversation. It was like, well, how are we going to know if he's ever going to be able to hit lefties if we don't give him an at bat against lefties? I think we've given him plenty, and we kind of know he can't. So figure
yeah,
that out. But it's just the similar conversation there.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, the third game kind of dookie.
Yeah.
The only real thing of note is that Chris Sale got 2,500 strikeouts in the fastest amount of time in baseball.
I mean, not to like. There are a few other things of note in that game. Zach Wheeler got lit up.
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler got
I don't wanna talk
absolutely
about
lit
it.
up. I mean, we have to. 5 1/3
That's
innings
true.
pitched, 6 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 hits. I mean, that's just not what you see from the guy. It's unfortunate, and hopefully, like, it's nothing serious with him also
Yeah.
getting bumped back and shuffled in the rotation for this upcoming series is a little concerning. But maybe they just wanted some extra mental time for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Game 3
Did he
was-
also just have a kid?
Yeah,
or-
his wife is due any day now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, I mean, that's a pretty big stressor being a parent and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, being a parent and a partner and just wanting, that's probably in the back of his head as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not injury related, and it's, yeah, it just sucks seeing our favorite guy get lit up.
Exactly. not to hurry us along or anything like that, but I did see we're already at 45 minutes, and we haven't even gotten to the Brewers
Damn.
series yet. Is that all right if
Oh,
I
yeah.
jump in there?
Let's get into it.
Okay, awesome. We got swept.
Boom.
Yeah. Some of the big storylines that I pulled out of this, it was yikes. Game 2, 17-7, Brewers over the Phillies. My biggest issue, as someone who has stake in the game, why did we leave Jesus out to dry, man? What is going on with that? 12 earned runs? He didn't have it. Pull him. I have Cy Young odds to save. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on. I guess what are your thoughts on them leaving him out to dry like that? I mean, we didn't get anyone warming until 11 runs had scored.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I think regardless he was getting taken out that inning.
Yeah.
Like it obviously, but my frustration is that nobody was warming up. You should have had somebody ready, especially with the amount of runs that were getting scored. Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to give your starter the opportunity to lock back in, but it comes to a certain point. And it's
exactly.
I can only imagine part of it was I think it was in the A's game. He let up
3 in the first inning and then
3 in the
struck out
first
10.
inning, but then he locked in. So it's like maybe they were waiting for him to lock back in, but also it's like there gets a point where 12 is a huge difference than 3.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, we're having bullpen issues and you don't want to strain it, but it's like there comes a point where you have to, and it's like, and then you get to the point where you're putting, who was it? Was Weston Wilson pitching or was it Cal Stevenson?
Weston Wilson.
Yeah, and
Cal
then you get to the point where
AAA.
Oh, okay, yeah. I always mix them up.
No, you're good.
But yeah, like then you get to the point where you have Weston.
Bryce Harper just went deep. Sorry.
Actually,
we are listening. We are recording during the first inning. It's 3-0 Phillies. Trey Turner hit a 2-run home run. Bryce Harper hits a homer center field. I called it a little
we love
bit.
you guys.
Called it a little bit. Love Bryce Harper. We missed you so much. I love you, Bryce Harper. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sorry for the reality shift right there. Sorry, did you have any more thoughts on Jesus there? I'm so sorry for cutting you off, buddy.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. We love Harper. And Trey. Yeah, he should have had some support, and it sucks that he didn't. But also, it's like JT said, you gotta flush it, man. You just gotta flush it.
You do have to flush it. That's the best way to look at it. You do just have to flush it. Rhys Hoskins. He had a bit of a series against us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's been conversation. There's been conversation about the Phillies needing a right-handed bat. There's been conversations about Bryce Harper being willing to move to the outfield for the right piece. And someone that, like you said, that back half of 23 is when you started watching. We need a right-handed bat with some patience, some power. You started watching halfway through 23. Rhys Hoskins was out with an Achilles injury at that time, so you don't have much recollection of Rhys Hoskins, the Philadelphia Philly. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you want Rhys Hoskins back on the Philadelphia Phillies for the right price? We're trading for him at the deadline.
I don't think it hurts. I mean, he's been playing really well.
Extremely well.
And we saw what happens when Bryce goes out. So it's like to be able to have somebody who was a Philly,
loves
the city. Why not? Like, yeah, I would be curious what the contract would be.
It wouldn't be a contract. We'd be trading for him, and he has a.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah,
he has a 1-year mutual option after this season for $4 million. So that means that him and the club that he currently plays for would both have to agree onto that option to play one more season for that $4 million price point.
Okay.
So right now he's getting paid about $8 million a year to $10 million. It was an $18 million deal. 1 year was $10 million. 1 year was $8 million. I can't remember which one was which. And it had a 1 year, third year mutual option. So we could potentially have him for this season and the season after if both parties agree. He's currently balling. I do not think that he would accept a $4 million extension. So we'd have to extend him, or he would walk after this season again, which could totally happen. The way some Phillies fans feel about Aaron Nola is very similar to my experience with Rhys Hoskins over the years. I kind of love to hate him a little. He plays some really bad defense at first. It's going to be a big step down going from Bryce to Rhys over there on the corner. But I cannot say that his offense hasn't been missed. I mean, in 23 it was missed. In 24 it was absolutely missed. He brings a spark plug to this locker room, for sure, and the city already loves him. He loves the city. It makes a lot of sense to me, but if it happens, I will be complaining about him on this podcast regularly. It will not be it's not gonna be some, oh, we got Rhys, everything's good now. I'm gonna be critical. Unfortunately that is how I am with Rhys Hoskins. Love the dude, done amazing things for Philadelphia, gave us some hope for a little while, which was really fun. Also can really get on your nerves. Strikes out, hits a lot of meaningless home runs. That was a bit between me and my dad for a long time where we talked about how, oh, it's 8-1 in the 7th inning. Rhys Hoskins is gonna hit a solo shot right now to make it 8-2. That'll really make it. That'll make it nice and fun.
Let's go.
That's the definition of the Rhys Hoskins experience for a few years. Yeah, I was just always critical of him, and I wouldn't hate seeing him back. Phillies got mashed by the Brewers. The one note I have in here is that they're kind of like the anti-Phillies a little bit. We both have good pitching, but in very different ways. They have the pitching mechanics and the pitching lab, and we do too. Don't get me wrong. But they have like the algorithm pitching. We got a dude, we're going to put him out there for 7 innings pitching. And they have the analytics driven offense and stealing bases and playing good defense, and we play bad defense. We don't steal bases. We don't really slug anymore either, to be completely honest. We play small ball. But every time we play the Brewers, I'm always like, oh, wow, this is like a totally different game they're playing than us. They play quick. They play really good defense. What were some of your thoughts watching these Brewers games?
I was at the one, and, kind of sucked. It's just like seeing them play, kind of like you said, like they're playing very analytically. They're stealing bases, they're getting people in scoring position. And then you watch Trey Turner make a few errors. It's like that's just kind of like what it was. And
that Trey Turner defense is getting a real problem. It's becoming a real problem, dude. It feels like we're good for a week, and then we're just back to having this conversation again.
Yeah, it's rough. It was a rough series to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved going to the ballpark. It's always fun being there, win or lose. And I mean, it was raining too, and I was still happy. But it's just rough seeing some of the errors we're making, especially when it's like we still got to worry about the Mets. We have to worry about the Dodgers. We have to worry about XYZ. And it's like we're not even playing the best in the league right now. You know what I mean? And like we're making errors and we're having trouble. So it's like it's kind of like seeing the Brewers and then the shadow of the rest of the NL.
Right.
Like right behind them.
Yeah.
So it's like that's always rough. But overall, I mean, you win some, you lose some. It's baseball. There's a billion games.
Yeah.
We're the fightings, baby.
We're the fightings. Overall, a rough series. We are closing in on an hour right now. So, I was curious about your input for the Goober of the Week, and then we get on out of here.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll be honest, kind of forgot about it. Let me think.
It's a rough week. It's a rough week of baseball. Who had a good Braves series? Right? Let's give it to Ranger. Why not?
Zip
Yeah.
back.
How about
Boom.
that? How about that?
Ranger Suarez.
Ranger Suarez had a really great couple last outings. Yeah, shouts out to Ranger for the Goober of the Week. Welcome back.
Shout out
buddy.
Ranger.
Welcome.
Ranger, if you ever want to hang out, call us.
Yeah, call us. We posted our number on the video. Call us.
But no, if you want your mug, just reach out, man.
Yeah, reach out.
You deserve Goober of the Week every week, in my opinion. But
Matthew, you got anything else to leave our wonderful, wonderful viewers with, who are going to call into the Goop hotline and tell us fun stories and ask us fun questions?
let me think. I'm trying to think of a question that they can have to if they're like shy or whatever. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
There you go. That's a great question.
Let's spark a little conversation here. What's your favorite ice cream flavor, man?
As always, thank you all so much for listening. This is Bailey and Matthew coming at you every Thursday from 101 The Goob, episode 12 this time. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. If you're on Spotify. Yeah, YouTube on Spotify. Man, this was a great time. Appreciate you, Matthew.
I appreciate you, man. I always have fun.
I did too. Same time next week.
Navi came in to say goodbye.
Bye, Navi.
Okay, bye-bye.
Keep on goobing.
Keep on goobing. Ooh.